Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in every Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, right here on the Shadow Knows Network. Before we go any further, hit that subscribe, like, and drop a comment. We're going to get into some really amazing things tonight. First off, in the world of toys, in the world of plastic, X-Men 97 releases some new figures. We're going to talk about that. Plus, Batman is getting tons of new stuff, including some vehicles. We're going to discuss that. And then, well, Alien is back. Yes, the Xenomorph is right behind Dr. Brantley. Should we be concerned? Plus, lots of other things in the world of pop culture. Stay tuned, folks. This is Pixels, Plastic and Ink. Well, thanks again, folks. If you're watching us here on the live, here on YouTube, or you're watching us on the replay, we genuinely appreciate it. Also, shout out to those who are watching us on X, Instagram, Rumble, all the various channels. If you have not gone to all of our socials right now, go on them live and subscribe. We're trying to boost that follower count. Stay tuned. We got lots of other content coming across the social networks, and we got another tease. We announced last week a really cool partnership, and we got another one brewing. Lots of exciting stuff, and we are inching closer to LA Comic Con. Gentlemen, how are you doing this fine Friday evening? Dr. Brantley, are you okay? Checking in with you. Looks like the alien is very close.
I'm fine. It's no problem.
Okay.
Doing good.
Awesome. Mr. Storm, how are you, sir?
All right, man. Looking forward to these pre-orders. Man, it's the pre-order apocalypse of the summer, man. So I'm glad we're getting that tidal wave of some more stuff. A couple of us are getting our planes that we ordered in the mail and everything. It was a good week. You know, when we get stuff in the mail, one of us got a crystal ball, the other one got his fortune screwed by Walmart. So,
well, like I can't help but I can't help but notice the forklift that was required to get the HasLab behind you. I mean, how big is that thing? That's ridiculous.
Look,
geez.
Yeah, Mr. Maddox got it before I did. He gave me pre-warning, and that warning was not enough because when I got that box, and I was like, "Holy crap, this is bigger than I thought it was going to be."
Incredible, Mr. Maddox. How are you, sir?
I am good. A lot of like pre-orders happening, a lot of plastic news, and there's actually a Hasbro Pulse exclusive that I'm excited about, and literally no one is talking about it on the web, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, man, a lot going on. Got my favorite figure of all time, and we'll talk about that. But otherwise, doing well, man. How are you doing?
I am doing extremely well. Yeah, I don't have the Rattler. I'm looking forward to having one in the near future. But I'm very, very excited about some of the Batman stuff that we're going to be talking about, and a lot of Marvel Legends on pre-order. Some that are arriving. And Mr. Storm, very similar to the obstacle you faced with Crystal Ball. Well, a lot of people pissed off that they did not get their Walmart exclusive Marvel Legends either. And I hear that the Ghost Rider Spider is one of the best figures of the year. So bit of a bummer. But let's jump right into it in the world of action figures. And well, X-Men 97 Marvel Legends. Very, very exciting stuff. Do we have the slides? Oh, it's pre-order mafia.
We got some pre-order mafia tonight, And then after that, we're going to do the Aliens Earth review. So stick around for that. If you actually have a spoiler free, don't worry, we're not going to ruin the show for you. But, it's time for Pre-Order Mafia.
Leave the McFarlane. Take the mezcal.
That is right. Leave the McFarlane.
That's how I'm going into Walmart. Just like, I'm looking for your action figures. Just trench coat and all.
Exactly. Mr. Maddox, you want to give us the 3-tier rating system for Pre-Order Mafia?
Yes, sir. If you're new to this channel and you haven't seen this before, welcome in. This is Pixel Plastic Inc. and this is Pre-Order Mafia. There are 3 levels that we put figures on, and sometimes we have to come up with a 4th, whether it's good or bad, but there's usually a 4th at some point in time that exists. Number 1, it's a made figure. Basically, it's a figure that you think is worth pre-ordering, that you are pre-ordering, that you think everyone else should pre-order. Then there's the forget about it, which is something that is probably still pre-order worthy, but you're not getting it, but you could see why people would. Then there is needs to sleep with the fishes, and that is really just don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Why is this a pre-order? It should have come out at Ross and DD's and all your favorite discount stores. And that is the 3-tier system. And the 4th one is always a surprise because it's something we come up with. So
absolutely. Great job, brother. Great job. Let's kick it in to this week and everything. The thing that was a little bit of controversy with the Marvel Legends people, and people were like, is this worthy of a Marvel Legends? But we're going to see a 2-pack X-Men 97. And it is, you've got Gambit and Rogue. You've got a shirtless Gambit, and they come with basketball attire. I was not expecting this to be a Marvel Legends release, but they did. Of course, the thing that makes it controversial is people are saying this is a kid bash. If you look at the pants on or the shorts on the bottom of Gambit and the torso, everybody's saying that's Giannis Antetokounmpo from the starting lineup line that they did. They just basically refigured him out and also gave him a different color too. So, so it was a kid bash race swap for the first time. I guess they could never say that. But and Rogue, I think Rogue looks like she's partially all new. But what were you guys' thoughts when you saw that they this was their Marvel Legends pre-order thing of the week? What were you guys thinking about this?
You know, there's a top 5 of I've always wanted a figure, and a half-naked Gambit with a bandana playing basketball was on that list. So
mine too.
Thank you for Hasbro. I mean, you made a little boy's dreams come true.
Well, no, because if it was a shirtless Rogue, then it would be boys' dreams coming true, and I would buy that set. Tell you that much.
Sold out, and $500 set. Yes,
absolutely. Welcome in, Commander Bly. This is one where I've got to say this one sleeps with the fishes for me, because I don't think in any kind of way, shape, or form that I think this is going to hit the DDs and the Rosses and the outlet stores. I don't think this. If you're a toy photographer, this is probably great. You probably got something you can kit bash. You do something with. I'm sure there's some use out of it, but I don't think this is gonna. Medical grade styrofoam Rogue. Yep.
Silicone.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. It's silicone. There you go. Yeah. I don't know, man. You look at some of the pictures. They tried to do this the best way possible with the poses and everything. They really did try to make this stand out. If you're looking for this order and something that you might want to do, the pre-orders is still live on Hasbro Pulse and a couple of your other fan channels, so you can definitely go check it out. But this was a hard pass for me.
This reminds me of in Catwoman when Halle Berry is having the basketball bit with Benjamin Bratt. It's absolutely awful, and so does this look absolutely awful. And all I know is white men can't jump.
Wait, you watched Catwoman?
Yes, when it came out, I unfortunately did. Just the once, though.
Okay, good.
I mean, this is currently on Hasbro Pulse to order. That should tell
Yes.
you about the demand of this figure. So, because typically all the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 before the re-release of you can get your hands on Wolverine and Rogue when they started hitting Target again. They were such a hot commodity. This one is not a hot commodity. So, yeah, for me, this is Sleep with the Fishes. As much as like X-Men 97, I'll wait. I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to use brain space to wait for these. This is like okay.
Okay. All right.
Just a
What-
absolute no-go. Never
So-
would want this.
This one
Sleep
goes.
with the fishes.
This is Sleeps with the Fishes
Sleep
to be
with the
never seen
Fishes.
again. Yeah. This one again. If there's any of our toy photographers out there right now, if you can find a use for this, let us know what this would be best for. But I got a feeling again, if you're going to buy this at retail, wait. I think you can find this at the end of the year for a much better price, even if it is on retail. I think this is going to drop. Does not look like it's going to be in fan demand. From there, one thing that actually is in fan demand because his license is coming up is the McFarlane. This is his version of the Robert Pattinson the Batman Batmobile. And I will have to say again, Rad, we've said this several times. He does vehicles good. This looks great. I have, if you look on the shelf back behind me, I've got the version of it from Mattel. That's the RC version. I think you can see that on this third shelf right over here. But it's the RC version, and that was by Mattel some years ago, and you could actually fit the McFarlane figures in there, which was quite interesting to me. This looks as well as that, except for it doesn't have any of the RC functions. So I was surprised that I know he's getting to the end of his license. He's putting out as much stuff as possible. This is one of the things that he's actually doing. He's also got his drawing board right now for the Batman versus Superman or the Justice League version of that. That's out as well. So, and also let you know, this one went up. The major complaint went up on Amazon, and it immediately was like sold off on Amazon. Then later in the day came back on Amazon. So this is one of those. It's up, they sell some, it drops off again. People can't find the links, and then it goes. So it's a little bit difficult for you if you're a fan trying to purchase this. But this one is one of those where it's a made figure for me. Anytime McFarlane does one of these Batmobiles, it's always worth the purchase for me.
Yep, I agree. I think thus far, at least the newer I didn't pick up every Batmobile that he released. Batman Forever, I did not grab, and based on Toy Box Chronicles last episode, I'm glad I waited on a few because I can get them at much cheaper prices than when they released. This one is going to be very difficult to find on clearance because it's a badass looking vehicle. I really enjoyed the movie. Pattinson's getting another film. And so this for me, this is a made figure. To your point, McFarlane makes vehicles very well, gold label, and it's a good price. You can't beat the price for a vehicle.
Absolutely.
Not crazy comparative to all the other stuff that we're seeing in the market. And so made figure for me.
Yeah, made figure. It looks great.
Look at that. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
What a great scene. And the figure's good too. Get that all together. Sweet.
Yeah, we've got a couple of those the McFarlane Patterson figures. They actually were a pretty good design. They look very close to the bat suit. I don't, he's always has a problem with the faces sometimes, whether people agree that it looks like, if it's like Keaton or if it looks like Patterson or if it looks like whomever. But they even write down that matches the Mattel creation vehicle that they did years ago with the detail on that engine block and everything. It looks like it did come out of the movie. So he didn't skimp on this. He actually put a lot of detail into the engine area. Of course, the rest of the vehicle doesn't have a lot of smooth lines and everything, but it looks like it. And the door, and the funny thing too, the door is open now. The Mattel version does not. It's an RC version. You have to slide them through the window, but it's also a fairly large vehicle. It is at scale. This one is probably slightly under scale because McFarlane comes a little bit, they're more shelf friendly. But again, man, I think he's doing great work. he's got a couple of more months left on this contract, and I know he's supposed to be coming up. Mr. Maddox and I are waiting for an 89 Batwing that's supposed to be coming out as well. I don't know what other things he has, maybe Bat Ski Boat or something. You know, Rad did a great video on the top 10 Bat vehicles. He's got some room to keep making some stuff. He's got some 66 stuff he can actually make too. So
I want the bat. We want the Bat Cycle. Come on, man. You can't hit on the Bat Cycle.
No, he has the Bat Cycle already.
Yeah.
Does he have a 1/6 scale?
Yep.
No, not 1/6, 1/12.
Yeah.
I mean 1/12. So he from the 66.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really? I gotta pick that up.
No Batcopter yet, though.
That'd be cool.
Wait, like 66 version of it?
66, yeah.
Oh no, he had
the one that's like a police bike almost, like
he had Dark Knight
with the Robin
Dark Knight
car.
Yeah,
that would be so awesome. I would love the Batcopter, man. That would be awesome, just flying in the background. 66 Batgirl Cycle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said again,
I like the retro cards he's been making too from 66 as well.
Yeah,
I haven't been picking them up, but they display really cool. I think
there's a lot of Ross.
Well, that's his exclusive home now. It's its exclusive home now, man. That's the difference and everything else like that. Welcome in, Forbidden Planet, but our panel. I'm sorry. There's the interesting fact of this too is, again, while this license is going up, he is doing as many obscure characters as possible. I think he's got his wish list, and he was like, "I'm going to finish this out regardless of the last of the contract." And I give him credit. You know, I know he did a bunch of these Superman items, and I'm sure it took up a chunk of his time, but it's still interesting the way he's able to finish out this year with a bunch of obscure characters, vehicles that everyone's been asking. You know, give him credit. Again, I think, like we said this on Toy Box Chronicles, he is making it difficult for Mattel. Mattel's going to have to jump through some hoops because McFarlane is leaving them in a very different situation. And from that different situation and things where every now and then, you know, we should have had a graphic this week that said, we might have to eat our words here. But Super 7, go with me here, has done something that I thought was almost closely impossible for them. They actually made something to look desirable that you wanted. This is their version of the tumbler, and it actually comes in several pieces. You can actually take it apart. You can actually get in right into the under the hood underneath it. You can look into the seating and everything else. This was a great designed vehicle that they did over at Super 7. I am shocked by that, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'd like to see it in person, but I do like that you can pop off the top and see some of the instrument panels. There's so many variations of the tumbler. I think McFarlane has done it really well. There's a couple RC versions of it. Hot Toys made a 1/6 scale, which is just a freaking beast. But yeah, I mean, looks pretty good. I'd just love to see this one in person.
Commander Bly does have a point. It's super expensive. This is running at $150, at least at this moment. What they're saying, you never know.
That's the thing, right? So we just talked about the Pattinson Batman is $79.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And this is $150. So come on, man, double the price.
Okay,
Other than
but
the pop coming off, what else does it do?
But compared to like the G.I. Joe stuff, this is very reasonable, much more reasonable than any of their
after your money. G.I. Joe wants your wallet.
Well, the difference of it is it depends on what Joe vehicle we're talking about here. We're talking about like they have their $100 scale, like the Vamp Jeep or the All Striker. That hits about $100, and then they get to the HasLabs where that's on the quite expensive side compared to their normal offerings. But they do have like middle of the grade. They've even got some $30 vehicles.
But they're smaller than this though.
Well, 10 inches. No, about the Vamp's about the same size as this.
Okay.
Yeah, the Vamp's about the same size. So, you know, it's just that now this would be in 10 inches and everything else. You know, I don't know if this can hold a figure or whatever the situation is going to be. It's something I have to see, you know, up towards it. But again, it's a good conversation piece if you got it on the shelf, man. You know,
it looks cool. I love the detailing on it.
This is not their normal thing. In fact, I was talking to someone earlier today. There's only been a couple of times Super 7 surprised me, and Mr. Max and I were in a Target where we saw their Godzilla line, and they have like a 3-inch or 3 or 4-inch Godzilla line that's highly detailed, that looks really good, and it's not crazy price wise. And you're like, wow, this is actually pretty good. And then you turn over and say, oh, this is Bandai. Oh, wait a minute, no, this is Super 7. And now this. So I know that they've changed CEOs, and there's going to be some differences. I'm sure this was with the last regime, but I'm wondering if this is the kind of stuff we can expect from Super 7 in the future. I think that actually bodes well for them. So
the Super 7 Godzilla stuff, like the Mecha Godzilla, is really good. I like the Bandai stuff, but yeah, Super 7's done really well with the Godzilla line. They did some exclusives at Comic-Con too. They did like a pop-up. I don't know if you guys, when you were in San Diego, you saw that, but I think outside the con they did some cool stuff. So yeah, maybe they're going to turn it around a bit, improve the brand, because they've got the licenses. It's just been boiled down to like a bit of greed, brand reputation. Obviously the layoffs didn't help either. So
yeah, true.
We'll see.
This one's a forget about it for me, but on the maybe a made figure, it's right on the teetering line. I've got to see this in person though.
Same. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I'm on the edge.
Yeah, I think forget about it, but it's cool. I like it.
All right. Well, from there, we get into the half and half of the show, where half of us is going to have some good opinions on this, half of us is going to have some sideways opinions and everything. But let's talk about Alien Earth episodes 1 and 2 review. We've all here at the channel actually have watched these shows. Some of us have watched them multiple times. And, from that, we're going to give our opinions of it. So let's start off with the people that like the show. Let's go, Dr. Brentley. Let's start off with you tonight.
I thought it was great. It's has the buildup of the Alien movie, the first one, where it is a little slower, but it does move along. By the halfway point of the first episode, giant ship is crashing, and this is what's happening. You meet the crew beforehand. They set up the world with these cyborgs and AI, and and there's different things. So they're doing a lot of world building on Earth, because we haven't seen Earth in these Alien movies. And I don't know. Second episode is a lot quicker because you're already in the action. But I loved it. It looks great. The effects are great. Everything about it, from like even the sound design, sounded like the original Alien movie. A lot of little things in there. So I don't know. I loved it.
Rad, your thoughts on Alien Earth episodes 1 and 2?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a little slow paced. There's no question about it. If you're tuning in and want to see xenomorphs like Starship Troopers and them being blasted out of the sky, you're not going to find it to be incredibly entertaining. I think it was the fine balance of a slow buildup, some science fiction, and then without any spoilers, you did get to see some action towards the later part of the episode. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's still too early to decide 100% my complete feelings of the series, but I think it was well made. They put a lot of money into it. At no point in time did I go, geez, they must have had a shit budget, because that's been the case with a lot of these. They put some Halo money into it. You could tell they put some money into it, and that's what I appreciate. So I recommend it. I don't think you need to be an incredible Aliens fan to like get this, because I think it kind of tells the story in the beginning and sets you up for the future episodes. There were some scare moments, some intense moments. I'd recommend it. Give it a shot, and we'll see in the next couple episodes how this turns out. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I think
All
Rotten
right.
Tomatoes, most people liked it too. So, Mr. Storm Maddox, you're on the flip side of Rotten Tomatoes. So, what's your take?
Well, I my take on this. So I am I'm into I'm not a fan. Let's put it that way. I'm into this scene up here where you're following her and kind of like the storyline. I'm not going to get into it because I know people need to watch it. So I'm a little into that. However, I had to break 2 episodes up into like 4 sessions to watch because I was extremely bored the entire time. That doesn't mean that there wasn't good scenes in it and there wasn't good things to happen. But if I had like a bingo card of everything that I didn't want to happen in order for it to keep my attention, I would have had bingo like 30 times. I think I look, I think they spent a lot of money in it, and it's good because they didn't spend a lot of money on the storytelling. So you have to distract people with the graphics to make them excited about it, to keep them going about the xenomorph. You have to have really good special effects to like take away from some of the bad acting that happens in it. I can see where it has a lot of potential, and I'm still gonna say that I think people need to watch it because I want to give it like one more episode. But yeah, this is like on par, if not like on the same track team as Daredevil Born Again in terms of like how good I think it is. I think that they just had a little bit more money than Daredevil Born Again, but I honestly like I was bored the entire time, and I know that that's like sacrilegious for Dr. Brentley, but I mean I was
Were you bored with the original Alien movie?
not even one bit. I love that movie to death.
Even though it's slow and nothing happens
It is.
for like
It's
half
not.
of the movie.
But the writing in the first Aliens is great, and it's slow. But there's a lot of like guessing that's happening in the original Aliens. Like this show is predictable every other scene. So like it. So I'm hoping that changes. But I love Aliens and like 1, 2. I still haven't seen the other one that came out like last year or whatever. I haven't really seen a lot of that, but yeah, I mean, I'll give it one more episode to really say like you should or shouldn't watch it or wait to like binge it. But Mr. Storm, what do you think?
I just love that. I just love that Chet treated this like homework. Like I had to do it in 4 chunks just to get by, just to get the sign off that I watched it.
Hey, you guys told me to watch it because we were going to talk about it, and I tried. I tried.
You get the participation award. We'll give that to you tomorrow. Thanks for playing.
like Dr. Brittley and Rad and our buddy Forbidden Panel, we said he was almost offended. He's gonna be offended because I thought it was a subpar episode 1. And, you know, I thought it was harder to sift through. I think they built it up, and the my main point is it's they write these shows, and I understand that it is on the streaming network. They write them for an audience that they know is paying for the service, so you're probably gonna watch it because you're like, I'm paying $9.99 or whatever the hell you're paying for these services, and it's like, so I'm gonna a captive audience. If this was network television, I don't know if they would actually start it off as slow. They would move it quicker. It would have a different pace to it. I think they've got to get back into that because the first episode, I was like, yeah, it was tough in the same way with I turned it off once and had to like kind of just get up and just come back and watch it again. It wasn't something I just thought moved extremely well. And then the second episode, I thought they did the screams and the scares and the things like that. Again, we're not going to ruin it for anybody that hadn't seen it, but it's like everything I saw in it, I've seen before. Like I was telling Dr. Brentley, we watched Alien Romulus last year. Thought it was good. Was a good film. but I had seen it before. I've seen the Alien. I've seen whatever other version of an Alien, whatever situation. It was like the last time I was shocked in the Alien movie was Aliens, and they did the Alien Queen was like that was a different version of. But I'm just like it's the same iteration of things that we're seeing, same asset, same alien, same situation. You know, this was a lot more gorier than I think all of them combined, because that was something that I wasn't expecting.
I did like
Uh,
that.
but other than that, I'm just like you can't surprise me with these films because the alien has just gotten to be semi boring. He pops out, he scares, he does something, and it's kind of like whenever I watch like Halloween, or you watch Friday the 13th. These characters, we've seen them in so many iterations. How do they become new to you? How do they really kind of affect you? That's what I kind of thought it was. I thought the special effects were fantastic. I thought all of the aliens looked great. um I'm not going to put up this comment by Forbidden Panel because somebody probably had to see the show, so there's a little bit of spoiler, but I do see it.
No
um
spoilers, but the cat though. Come
yeah,
on.
the cat. Yeah, this is what
Come
we can
on.
say about that.
Come on.
But like I said again, a lot of great special effects and everything. But it's like it's most of the stuff I've kind of seen before out of these things. So it just there's nothing shocking to me when it comes into the franchise. So again, great effort. I thought it was written well, but it's written for streaming, not written for the captivated audience constantly.
I don't think that these kind of things, especially on a big franchise like Alien or Friday the 13th or Halloween, you don't need to have something new every single time. Part of it is just give me a good story with this character in it. I just want alien action, alien to kill some people and smash their heads open, whatever. I just want Jason to go around murdering teenagers at a lakeside. That's it.
See, that doesn't captivate me anymore. It's like give me a story
if it's
where
done
it's
well.
like not, but it wasn't done well.
I think
it was the same thing I've seen before. Like to
Yes,
me, being done well is like it's like the Dark Knight compared to '89's Batman. They're both Batman movies, but it's done in such a way that it's something new to it.
Well,
I think
you have to be. I think you have to be careful on that because that's really close to the fine line of saying like every GI Joe episode is the same thing over and over again, just with a different iteration.
It pretty damn straight is.
I know, and so but I think I'm with Dr. Brentley on that. While I don't like this show yet, I'll say yet because I am going to like watch it. I don't necessarily think they need to do something new, but I think they need to do something that is
that might work.
Alex was pole dancing. Yeah. I do think that the one thing I would like to see is that the one thing that I think is missing a lot is like playing with your imagination. And I think the Alien franchise has a lot of room to be able to play with everyone's imagination because we've all seen Alien. So you don't need to show everything right away. Like they don't need to show everything right away. And I think if they could just write it different where it's more suspenseful than it is like, here's what you're getting right off the bat. And maybe they'll do that, right? Because there's a few things where I'm still like, all right, I'm interested to see where this person plays in or where this part plays in. So I am watching it for that aspect of it. So we'll see.
Yeah, they do have a lot of moving parts right now. So, we don't know exactly how it's all going to be coming together.
I think for this franchise, it's very difficult the first episode or two to try to blow you out of the water. Like it's just like it's not. It has to be a slow build, and I know I get it. It could maybe feel very similar to past films, and for to want the plot to develop faster. I do believe that over the next couple episodes, things will unfold, and we'll really be able to get the full story here. But I still was impressed. I really was, and maybe that's because most of the stuff on streaming is trash. But I think they executed really well. So I'd recommend everyone give it a shot.
Yeah, I absolutely do. Dark Race, the Alien franchise was good when it was just a monster movie release that kind of strangled the story to death with the AI and the creation, kill, alien kill. Look, I will say the reason why I kind of thought like you had from Aliens, Ridley Scott's version, and that's like pretty much a a horror drama, and then you went from James Cameron to a horror action movie, and the tones were different aspects, Space Marines and everything. We're really kind of like this was on the vein where it was like Ridley Scott's Prometheus, kind of like where they were explaining, and again, I'm not going to ruin this, but we all know explaining a certain section of the lore. And I thought like, okay, this is it. This is not a different tone than what I've seen, and that's what I'm saying. It's like I've seen this way too many films, way too many times in the franchise, the same aspect of it, and I just think that they've got to get a little differently. On the screen here, we've got also a timeline. So if you want to know where this fits in into the whole alien kind of scenario, they're giving a little bit of a pseudo timeline. Now this probably can change because the producers did say that they weren't really kind of keeping Covenant and Prometheus kind of into the fold. They were doing things that didn't have to lock in. So, but if you're into the whole point after, you got Alien Earth, then Alien Romulus. So, if you're on a Saturday and you want something to watch and everything, yeah, you watch the first 2 episodes of this, go back and watch Alien, then Alien Romulus. I will definitely suggest that. It was a much better film than I think the last iterations of the Alien films have been. So, it's a good thing. They're putting some time, effects and some thinking into it. So I think that's always good when they're doing this, man.
Can we agree on something? What's the worst film of this list?
I think Resurrection.
Or Covenant. I don't know. It might be Resurrection. Resurrection has the worst tone out of all of these. Talking about tones, it was like a comedy.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that you could probably stop at Alien 3. Like you don't have to finish.
Yeah,
if you're,
you could.
If you're watching these in order, you don't. I mean, you don't even have to watch Alien 3 if you don't want to. Like
no,
you could
just do Alien, Romulus, and then Aliens, and you're good on the trilogy of Alien movies. The rest you can kind of skip.
Covenant was brutal too, but Resurrection to me was the worst.
You know which one had the best 3D was Prometheus. If you saw that in the theater, like it had really good 3D.
I like Prometheus. Yeah. I'm probably I did.
I think that was the last one I saw with my dad.
It looked great.
I like it because
I liked it. I mean, it wasn't perfect. There was but I enjoyed it.
It was just dumb. Every character was dumber than the next. I'm a biologist and I'm going to touch this snake that is an alien without my mask on. Yeah. I'm the cartographer and I'm going to get lost after I map this entire place.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just dumb after dumb after dumb.
Come on, man. We got to see the engineers.
Run to the side. Run to the side.
And you got Dark Moocher. Like I said, I liked Alien 3. I thought Alien 3 was good. It had a different tone. But I did think some of the aspect, Charles Dutton's in it. He was a fantastic actor. But, I think Fincher ran into a whole lot of problems with that movie.
Do you think that Hasbro could tap into Kenner, make 1/12 scale alien figures, and
I think somebody could. Yeah.
They should remake them. It. The Mezco
Forbidden Panel is awesome. Forbidden from chat.
No, Forbidden. I agree. Forbidden. I agree. I see. Like it. And then Moocher, come on.
Hey, he saves himself from this. Alien 3 too. There you go. There. I like Alien 3 too. So yeah, no banning. But yeah, man. I would like to see it. I would definitely like to see a 1/12 version of it. If you're going to do, highly articulated, which you imagine, like you could go through and do all of the major like Alien movie. You can run through Aliens. You could do some of the vehicles and everything. That would be extremely interesting. I think there would probably be a market for that because we've only seen them by I think what was it? It wasn't 3 3/4. but I think it was what 5-inch or something for the
Mhm.
pinner,
Yeah.
and
And
those
then-
weren't really that detailed.
NECA just did a whole
Oh,
bunch a couple of years
yeah,
ago that were
they
great
did.
because I was selling those for a while.
Yeah, but they got the NECA prices on those.
Yes, they did, but they looked great.
Now, here's something that I didn't see right here. Actually, I'm gonna have to actually watch that because I do know sometimes director's cuts do drastically differently change the outlook of a movie. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out too because I'm pretty sure because that was Dave Fincher's by mistake. That guy knows how to direct movies. I'd like to see his version of it. But yeah, man, look, it's on. It's at least there's something towards the end of the summer that we can actually debate and watch. That's always a good thing. I'm looking forward to seeing if the rest. There's probably 8 episodes in this. Seeing how the rest of the series pans out. We'll see. So all these other aspects that work with it.
Let's just hope it finishes by the time Hulu shuts down.
Well, they're moving into Disney Plus, so they've been kind of doing that transition. So I've heard it's going to be seamless. That because even when you turn on Disney Plus, you can see everything from Hulu there. Now I'm wondering how they're going to get this subscription thing, because if they do shut down Hulu, does that mean that we no longer pay for Hulu? And does that jack the prices up?
You can log into Hulu with your Disney Plus login.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. We've still got the end of the summer to see what that's going to look like.
The question is going to be, once this series wraps, who has had the most successful franchise continuation? Will it be Predator or Alien? Because obviously Predator had the animation, and now they got this, what is it, Predator Badlands, is it called?
Yeah,
right?
Badlands.
And that trailer looked insane. So we'll see who the king of the aliens is, but I think there's strong hope for both.
Yeah. No, I definitely and Forbidden Battle says, yeah, who's ready for Badlands?
Mhm.
Look, it's interesting. The Killer of Killer I was a little bit shocked at how although the animation, I kind of think I've seen that animation before, but the story was really well on that. I think 3 great different eras, and they blended together, and the ending was quite surprising to me. And then now, if you actually go on to Hulu or Disney Plus or wherever, they actually changed the ending, and they've added some old familiars to it as well. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to actually look at that end credit scene.
The familiar, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Why didn't they do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was so pissed. I was like, that's what we've been asking for.
Yeah.
For you got to see it. We don't want to spoil it, but
no. And
that's
if you're
what
going to bring somebody,
you're
going to bring somebody back, that's how you can bring them back. So, again, it works itself out. But yeah, I don't know what they were into the mix of that. But gentlemen, we get through this portion, and you know what? We're at the point. If you have not subscribed, then what are you doing? You should be.
So what are we doing?
Yeah.
Hey, and I gotta say again, if you didn't catch the top, we got Instagram, we got TikTok, we got we're everywhere. So subscribe everywhere. You don't just to subscribe YouTube. Subscribe everywhere, man. We got lots of different content everywhere. So follow us along, man. It doesn't cost you much, right? It doesn't cost. I mean, chat. It doesn't cost you much, right? It's free.
Yeah, it's free, man, and we're paying for them right now, so it's even more free.
Well, Rat, you know what it's time for?
Oh, my favorite segment. Let's roll.
Okay, who's gonna after action?
Hey, there's no need for an intro. You just pop. You we did. I mean, the logo. We got the new logo set up. Well, come on, man. This is where you get the news.
It is looking good. It is brand new. If you look, there's a brand new graphic for SKN News. The guys behind the scenes are knocking it out, and it is powered by our partners over at plasticnews.com. Get all your entertainment news, especially if it's in the plastic form or entertainment, or if you're looking at pixels or anything else. Get that from plasticnews.com. It is up. Go over there and check it out. Let them know that the fine people over here at SKN sent you. And the best part about it is with the partnership, if you're not watching us here, you can actually watch us over on plasticnews.com as well. So always expanding thing of our streaming channel. So very thankful to them. But like it says, man, from our world to your world, this is SKN News. And the first slide that we've got tonight is Extraction gets green light at Netflix for its series. Was not expecting this. That is right. The fine folks over Netflix that has casted a new Netflix series, Extraction, and Boyd Holbrook is starring opposite of Omar Sy. And the show is set in the world of the action thriller movie franchise of the same name, to be helmed by this showrunner, writer, and executive producer. And also, the Russo brothers will be back as well with their AGBO productions. It's an 8-episode action-packed thriller. Mercenary embarks on a dangerous mission to rescue hostages in Libya, which is interesting. Now, if you don't know, this is based on the 2020 and the 2023 Chris Helmsworth film that was also based on a graphic novel. I don't know about you guys. I wanted to see more of Extraction. I expected it to be Chris Helmsworth, but hey, it looks pretty good, man. I don't know if world building is never a bad thing. So, what do you guys think? More Extraction too much, or were you waiting for the third film, or is this going to be a complementary thing between the second and third film that may expand the universe bigger?
Are they going to do a third film?
I'm pretty sure they are, bro. Both of them did well.
Because this is the kind of thing to me that says we're not going to do that. We're going to just move over to this because we can't afford or get Chris Hemsworth anymore. But who knows? If they stick with the formula, it'll be cool. It's a lot tougher to do an action show today, I think, than it was like in the 80s and 90s, because they used to crash cars and jump stuff and have stuntmen doing things. And that seems to have gone out the window a bit in the last like 20 years.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to something like that.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I do know the first two films were extremely stunt driven, and it looked like some of those stunts looked like they were old school stunts, the way they were performed. So that's a good thing. I think they harken back to how they used to do things. But I'm sure Mr. Helmsworth is in the middle of filming so many of the Marvel stuff, and he's got a hell of a commitment from both of those films that it's probably going to take him a long time to get around to this. And plus, also, the Russos are also involved in this next round of films too. So I'm pretty sure that was the hindrance to Extraction 3, but it wasn't the lack of, because the second one wasn't good. Actually, that's one of the film series. The first one was great. The second one was even better. So, I'm hoping they put the same intensity in this series. What do you think about it, Rad?
I like this actor. I thought he was great in Narcos. That's where I first kind of really discovered him, and he's been a bad guy in a variety of different films. So I think it's good casting. Look, I'm up for a great series that follows along the same kind of vibe as Extraction. Good films. Same thing. Mr. Storm. I'd love to see Hemsworth reprise his role, but if this is a filler or in between, why not? Let's see how it goes. Any great action series, I'm all for it. And again, I think this actor is really good. So we shall see. Netflix is pumping out content, boy.
Aren't they? Yeah, that's what happens when you're paying that amount of money and everything else like that. And also, Ben Pound said Harburg was great in Logan. So, Matt, what do you think about the Extraction series? Looking forward to it, or more the same?
I'm looking forward to it. I think they'll probably stick with the formula. And it's Netflix money, so they can do as close to the formula as they need to. I think Extraction's a good film series, so it's a fun like just sit back and watch, figure something else out after type series. So I'm excited, and this is a good filler if that's what it is. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Well, from there we jump over to again, when they're saying action series, you don't get any better than this one. Sylvester Stallone remains permanently tied to two characters above all others. And one, of course, obviously, is Rocky Balboa. The other one is going to be John Rambo. Well, it seems now that the 79-year-old Tulsa King star is finally ready to hand over the trademark archery bow to his legendary First Blood character over the 29-year-old, and it's Noah is at
Centineo.
Centineo. Okay, I've seen him in maybe one or two films, so I'm not really that familiar with his work. But he kind of has a Sylvester Stallone look. Now he's going to have to really bulk up though. But the project is currently in active development with a new film that will focus on Rambo's early years in the Vietnam War, specifically depicting his grueling service in the Green Beret Special Forces Unit. Now, maybe we will see some of the other members of his unit, because if you watch First Blood, most of those guys had passed away. So it'll be very interesting to see that dynamic. What are you guys thinking? Is do we need a First Blood kind of like prequel, or is this one of those things like, hey, anything to keep the franchise going is a good thing?
Well, we don't need more old Rambo. That's for sure.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Look, we've talked about this before, where there's just not this era of like in the 80s and 90s, like action stars, like action heroes, like Rambo or Jean-Claude Van Damme, like Lionheart. You had all of these like awesome characters portrayed by these actors, where it was literally, I mean, you even had a movie in the 90s called Last Action Hero. So like, I think that they need to do something to bring it back. I get why you would I get why you would do this, why it's like a prequel to Rambo. I understand that. I would like to see some version of a new story, different title kind of like come out, but yeah, we'll see. I'm with Dr. Brinley. Like, I don't need to see, Sylvester Stallone's one of the only guys where it's like Rambo 1 was awesome. Rambo 2, he looked better. Rambo 3, he looked even better. So it's like the boxer, as the boxer continued to like do better in boxing, his face started to look better and better. So I think that was kind of like my problem with Rocky. But look, this is cool. Let's see what happens. Darth Moocher said I just shot a man, and I did it on purpose. Lacks action heroes. Look, hopefully it's good. That's all I'm going to say, because there's a lot riding on Rambo, and that hopefully brings back all the action figures.
Yeah. What do you think, Rad?
I mean, they couldn't have used a worse photo side by side comparison here.
True.
Because I've seen this actor in other stuff, and it's like but he doesn't look anything like what I would anticipate Rambo. We'll give it a shot. I want Rambo to come back. I don't want Stallone be 86 years old with a Gatling gun. I would just say whoever cast it, get some steroids, get in the gym. We like our Rambos looking like a action hero.
The funny thing is, like the first Rambo movie, that was all natural. Like if you read the book on how he like got that physique, it's insane.
Whatever he needs to do, be Rambo. We don't want like this other version. We want the action figure version of Rambo. That's why we liked Rambo. I want my Rambo with a headband and a knife and weapons and killing everybody. That's it.
Commander Bly actually has a different scenario, and this would be match the times right now, because he would be a fight for him. Rather see a modern movie about an action figure manufacturer in Vietnam. I can tell you, it's a knife fight involved in that, brother. We're going through that right now.
Do we get to stay out of Ross this time?
Wow, bro, that's wow. Nose huge already. All right, well, he's gonna have to.
Yeah,
look.
In Black Adam, he was pretty bulked up. So
yeah. And so he's the actor from The Recruit. Okay, he didn't look that bulked up in The Recruit. I'll tell you that though. But they did kind of dress him down as he was a CIA analyst kind of thing. Well, good for him. He's chunked over to that.
Is he going to do the voice stuff? It's a prequel. That would be amazing. Yeah.
I don't know. I think
he's got to do something, because you can't be like, "Oh, hello, my name is John Rambo." You can't do that. So he just have to not talk a lot.
What's a better
trying
movie?
to get his band.
What's a better movie, Rambo or First Blood?
First Blood.
First Blood. Every day. Every day.
That's a real movie. That's not like an action movie. That's just a drama.
I just love that it changed so dramatically.
Yeah.
Like it's just like it went. It's like one of those things where I enjoyed both, but it
Yes.
just went from like wow, like to like we're just gonna turn this into like I think he watched like Arnold movies and he's like, okay, we're turning this into me just like Commando. He's like, I want my Commando version.
Well, he went to prison for a couple of years. It has a way on a man. Hardens him up and everything. He was able to bust some granite. You saw that, bro. They were breaking granite. That's where he got that physique from. He was a regular dude. They say you always come out bigger when you come out.
Have you heard the interview that Arnold had recently where like, I don't know if it was recently, but he said that there was a rivalry of who had the biggest gun in films.
Yeah.
Like there was like a thing where it's like, okay, he used this, so I'm going to use a rocket launcher or whatever. It's like, bring that back in this era. Who are the two that should be feuding right now? Like, we don't have it. We need it.
You're right. Well, here's the thing. I think our heroes have changed. I think Chris Helms was talking about.
Not my heroes changed.
I think we were talking about Extraction. That's it's a Rambo like or like anything that Schwarzenegger would do, but it's more of a different thought process involved. So we are seeing a little bit of a different. I'm glad we're getting some throwback. Hopefully, they take this to a throwback before he gets, into the whole city scenario up in the Pacific Northwest. It's interesting to see how they would do that in a way that's going to work out for Vietnam and everything else, because that's a hell of a thing to throw a lot of writers into. Is that how you do that in a new modern age world? That's going to be a little tough. So,
Forbidden. You said Pedro. If Pedro was cast as Rambo, I would.
We'd stop
every streaming series.
Yeah.
I'd never go to a movie again. I would never. I would quit quit the show. Geez. Hot Shots Part 2 did it right with the kill counter. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So from there, we move on to our ink portion of the night. Now, we know this doesn't fall in too well for you guys for reviewing aspects, but it is pixel plastic ink, so we kind of like throw that in every now and then. But this one right here, Batman gets yet another brand new costume and another #1 comic.
The hell is this?
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly as I was going over this. In a hardcore transformation, Batman is showcasing a jaw-dropping redesign. The new suit was designed by Dan Mora, which I think he's doing the brand new Batman series right now on the opposite, and will be showcased in the Immortal Legend of Batman. That's right, by Mr. Higgins, Mr. Groom, and Mr. Ursel, and a couple other people. The alternate universe, so this is not standard in the Batman universe, this is an alt universe story, will be Batman clashes with a new version of the Riddler and a group of gladiatorial space pirates. Didn't see that coming. Thankfully, Nightwing and Robin will be at his side in their own powered suits. Immortal Batman takes place in a reality where humanity has tapped into dimensions of supernatural darkness, using it to create new forms of technology. When that dimension turns out to be an aggressive threat to Earth, Batman, Nightwing, and Robin don the suits for the, and they just, it looks like the Mighty Power Rangers based in with Batman. So, what are you guys thinking about this version? Are they just doing too many damn Batman books?
This is exactly why you don't do acid while you're creating new Batsuits. This is the example here. Like, what the hell is this? What are we talking about?
Yeah. Mr. Maddox, there's more Batman on the way. Should there be?
Like, this should have stayed in Dan Mora's head. Like, this is like he read Batman Incorporated and then just liked all the scenes from Batman in Japan and was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. And then he couldn't figure it out, so he started reading Gotham by Midnight, and it was like, what's great. Also, here's the thing: if it's supernatural, doesn't DC have like a supernatural hero they could have used? Like, isn't there just? I feel like there's just a constant use of characters they could have used for supernatural, right? I don't know what it is. Just shut the fuck up already. The more you read, the more the light of joy dies. Yeah. Look, this is the summary of this, or the synopsis. It's just like, okay, so Batman beat up Constantine and had to take over.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you this. They did send over, and I know you guys haven't had time to read this. They just sent a press conference. It said Go, Batman, Nightwing, and Robin Rangers. I don't know. When I saw this piece, I'm like, what the hell are they doing now?
No, it looks like Batman is in Battle of the Planets. You know, I just the shoulder pads, it's all looks terrible. Yeah. And his mask kind of looks like they're trying to do Wolverine or something.
He's got it right. Gotcha, Batman. There you go. There you go. Well,
here's the thing. The real thing is we should all take bets now on whether or not McFarlane can get this figure out.
He's got a couple of months, man. He's got a couple of months, actually. I'm gonna take that bet right now, and I say that there's probably 75% he could do it. He can do it, you look again, pixel plastic ink. There's got to be some ink in this. Unfortunately, I hate to tell you this was the most interesting ink story of the entire week. We got to do better in the toy world. We've got to do a little bit better.
They're wasting their ink over there.
Yeah, they are. And it's sharp with the edges. They can't be. I don't know, but it's getting up there and everything.
It'd be so funny if like they were actually. It'd be so great if it wasn't an actual cape, but they were just like metal sharp, and he just couldn't move like RoboCop. Like he banging the shit and like poke Robin's out. Like
what's that now?
Yeah, turn it into a comedy.
Yeah, well,
that's the only way that's gonna work.
Nobody's
pre-ordering that book.
No. Well. I would say it's not the end of SKN News because we just previewed it, but we got the Dr. Brentley and the SKN Rumor Alert coming up.
Yes, the Rumor Alert. All right. Also powered by plasticnews.com.
Absolutely.
Now there's 3 different levels of the rumor. We've got grain of salt, or a gain of salt, depending on who's writing this out.
Dude, right.
A half-truth or a fact. I like the gain of salt.
As a gain of salt, yeah. Exactly.
Sounds like Twitter right now.
Yeah, it does.
Everything I read is like you have to that's the 3 categories.
All right, Captain Jack Sparrow is coming back. Producer Jerry Bruckheimer said he's spoken to Johnny Depp about returning as Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean 6.
This movie will sell out.
That's right. There have been 5 already. And it sounds like the actor is interested. If he likes the way the part's written, I think he would do it, Bruckheimer told Entertainment Weekly. It's all about what's on the page, as we all know. So how about that script then? According to Bruckheimer, it's getting closer and closer to completion, but there's still work to be done. We are still working on a screenplay, he said. We want to make it. They want to make money. We just got to get the right screenplay. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we're close. Now, it scares me just because he's saying we've got to get the screenplay right. Have you seen the last couple of those pirate movies?
Exactly.
They didn't get it right.
They didn't get it right, but this is instant. You could sell tickets to the movie now and it would sell.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no other way around it. It would just print money at this point.
Why don't you here's the concept. Jack Sparrow gets into like a time machine and he's like travels into the future, and you just have him pop up at like Coachella and all these different things and interact, like make him like, we just want to see Jack Sparrow. We don't want to see, I don't care about anything else. This is one of the coolest characters ever. I want to see Johnny Depp kind of half drunk. That's what sells out. It could be the worst story of all time, and
wouldn't
it's
matter.
Make
I will
dollars. It doesn't, you know what I mean? So it's like it could just be like a YouTube, like it just could be him just walking around the streets of like 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, and I'd watch it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I would do it if he said it needs a script or something. No, we would take 2.5 hours of Johnny Depp just improving Captain Jack Sparrow better than not having him back. Look, he should have never been let go in the first place. It is what it is. I think Disney, from the plans I heard, thank God they ditched that. We need to have a good Pirates of the Caribbean script back. Hopefully, they can get him some co-stars that can chop it up with him, because you're going to need to have somebody that can actually get there and hold their own. But I'm looking forward to it. Thank God he's back. This is just post Jack Sparrow movie news clicked here as with the story of him doing the movie and to make millions. Oh, he's shit. You know, hey man, he's got a hell of a wine collection he's got to pay off. So, you know, it works well. Jack Sparrow versus Gotcha Man. No, we'll take Jack Sparrow, man. We'll take that any day of the week. Look, I'm glad he's back. If Brock Harmer's doing this, it's the smartest move in films. Disney's going to make a crap load of money because I've already bought my ticket, damn it.
Well, and also because they are not doing it like every couple of years, right? They had rest for a little bit. Now people will want to go and see it. It was getting where it was just too many. It was like every 2 years there's another Pirates movie, and it got a little long in the tooth. Now it's rested for a bit, and people will be excited to see him again.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, all right.
Hey, this is a gain of salt, man. This is a gain of salt.
And next up, Dr. Brinley.
Deadpool in Avengers. Ryan Reynolds is set to reprise his role as Deadpool for the next Marvel Cinematic Universe team-up movie, Avengers Doomsday. Details on Reynolds' highly anticipated involvement in the next Avengers movie come from The Hollywood Reporter, so that means it's actually true. It's one of the many Deadpool crossovers Marvel fans have waited decades to see come to fruition, though the site's sources say fans shouldn't expect him to actually join the Avengers team quite yet. Avengers Doomsday is in theaters December 18, 2026.
Yeah, I can see why they probably labeled this half true, because when it comes to Marvel movies, they could be setting us up for something where they'd be like, yeah, he's going to be in it. And then, oh, yeah, no, he's not in that. So you never know, because even the actors have gotten to the point like, I'm going to be in that one. And then they're like, no, I'm not going to be in that one. So I would love to see him in. It's going to be, will he have this cameo or will it be something else?
Yeah, they got to do the Thor bit from Deadpool and Wolverine, where he's holding Thor is holding him on the battlefield or whatever, you know.
Isn't he and his wife being countersued or something? I think Disney might want to see how that plays along before they pop him in a movie.
Well, like our last story, I think they've learned their lesson about firing actors before.
I don't know if they'd fire
actual case go, but you know, because they you know, that's how Captain Jack Sparrow was
John Majors, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, well they got that's a controversy waiting here right there too, man. So they got a lot of stuff. Disney like to make a lot of situations where they say go away, they're like, oops, you got to come back. So hopefully they won't jump the gun on this, but hey man, Ryan Reynolds has been great every time he's done that Deadpool suit.
Yeah,
he's made them a shit ton of money. If he pops up in a movie, it's got to be at the right time. It's got to have audiences where they kind of like leap out of their chairs when they do it. So
well, and sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there's gonna be one person that's really gonna be pissed off about that. It's that Rob Liefeld's gonna have.
I was just gonna say I looked at Rob Liefeld for all my Deadpool news.
Yeah, but do a Roberization. What did he call it? Robications, whatever he's calling that crap podcast that he's doing.
Be so
where he
bitches
bitches
not
every
on
week.
The red carpet when this movie comes out and Deadpool's walking around. So,
and Commander Bly's got a point here. Like when I say they got to be careful about who they let go, who they don't, because everybody makes their way back.
Oh, Gina Carano, 100%. She's gonna get probably the settlement include her like taking on a big role in the MCU. So
I'm sure.
Yeah,
they don't kind of waffle that, but we got anything else, Dr. Brentley?
I don't think so.
All
right. Well,
just looking forward to it if it happens. But you know, Deadpool's the only thing that's made money for the MCU in the last like 6-7 years. So they need him.
They do, 100%. What a show! Some of us are half in on Alien, half out. We're definitely not buying Gambit with the shirt off and the basketball shorts. That's like the worst figure I've seen in a long time. And obviously, lots of rumors and exciting new stuff. And I think what's really exciting, if you missed it, is that we have a really cool partnership with Kid Robot. And so next week, we're excited to, on the channel, be able to feature some cool content featuring some of the stuff from Kid Robot. So very exciting stuff. We got a lot of other partnerships, and one by next week, we're ready to announce a pretty big company affiliate that does a lot of stuff. I think in probably Mr. Storm's realm, if I had to guess. I dabble a bit, but more to come as a teaser. Fire Steve, the poor Steve, man, he's been on the street, he's been back in the studio, street.
All we do is threaten his job when we're on live.
We have Steve coming here running amok one of these days, pissed off at us.
And hey, look, that's my problem. I brought him over from my channel, and I thought he was going to do really well.
He got it next week, man. Steve, don't let him keep getting on you, brother. You got it.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we do appreciate about Steve is that he's very loyal, regardless of all the stuff.
Damn right.
But I know we got some other news coming because we're inching closer, Mr. Maddox, to a big event in Los Angeles.
City of the Angels, that's right. In last weekend of September, the 25th of September, we will be at LA Comic-Con with a massive showing there, and we're not ready to announce what it is we're showing yet, but we are excited about it. We'll be there with our partners from Advent Comics, Odd Frog, Vonner Studios, Legion's Magazine's going to be there. We'll have Deadly Diorama there. Like, we're going to have, if you want to get a chance to meet the crew, this is going to be your chance to meet the crew. We will be super busy, so long conversations probably won't happen very much. However, we are really excited. It's the next step in evolution of what is Vault 9 and SKN and Odd Frog and all of that stuff. So stay tuned, because we'll either make the announcement probably next week on Toy Box Chronicles, or we'll actually probably just announce it on Plastic Pixels and Ink.
Awesome. Amazing.
I said that in a very specific order for a very specific reason.
Well, based on the Batman comic we featured, is Pixels, Plastic, and Trash. I think that's the new segment. Pixels, Plastic, and like Fire Fuel.
And by the way, in case you guys are wondering who didn't get their crystal ball, this is mine.
Yeah, I didn't get mine. I ordered it from Walmart in March before we went to Toy Atlanta. And I was like, what in the hell? And I asked them, they were like, yeah, we made a mistake on that. Their whole Christmas, yeah, we really kind of screwed up on that. I was like, seriously? So you just have my money since March? You just, everybody could go to the shelf and pick one up. Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. We fuck shit up here at Walmart. That was from the Walmart guy.
Yeah. And I do want to say, we didn't talk about really quick what I was excited for on Hasbro Pulse. But they just announced posable action figure stands 3-packs.
I saw that.
And that hit. And honestly, like, I got to tell you, it's probably the most reasonably priced shit on Hasbro Pulse. You get 3 figure stands for $14.99, and they're really well made figure stands. I've seen these before, and I know, like, it's weird to be talking about figure stands, but honestly, like, take a look at them. They're up on Hasbro Pulse right now. They're exclusives, but they are, if you want flight stands, they're very hefty for flights. However, if you have the new Dragon Man, nothing holds that shit. If you have Pink Boom, nothing holds that. Nothing holds the new. So hopefully they come out with one that's a little bit beefier. So
I'm gonna have to take a look at that because you know what? I don't know, man. From Hasbro Pulse, I normally get my things from, from Moocher 3D Print Labs. So I don't know, man. I'm sure he could probably make a stand that could hold Ping Ping Boom or Dragon Man.
Oh, I'm going to
But
talk to him
we're
about it.
gonna need to talk to him about that. But that's where I get my figure stands from, bro. I don't know, but Hasbro Pulse, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I would get them from Hasbro Pulse, but they don't take credit cards. Because every time I try to process the tech support goes, you have to use PayPal. So I go right.
I have heard about
to
this.
Moocher's. I go right to Moocher moving forward because you know what? It's easier transaction, and we know him, and he's trusted. And he's a good guy. So
He's on it. He's on it.
Chet gets paid by Hasbro Pulse. We can't control what his sponsorships are. We try to do our best, but gotta pay for the yacht somehow.
That's true.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Again, thanks for all of you hanging out in the chat on the live, and for those of you who are watching the replay, check out the socials. Again, lots of new and more regular content are going to be popping up. Video memes, special featurettes, videos on all across the platform. So again, if you aren't following all our socials, specifically TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and everything else, please do so. Much appreciated. We will see you next week, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time for Toy Box Chronicles. Until then, gentlemen, any last and final thoughts?
Check out Alien Earth. I think it's good.
Okay. He does think it's good.
Yeah. SKN News and SKN all our channels. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Thanks all. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Adios.